guys, I'm Kim. Thanks for joining me again. Today I want to talk about a couple of things that have been swirling through my head that I feel like resurface time and time again in the world of spirituality and spiritualism. I think it's really important for all of us to finally come together and realize every single one of us are intuitive beings and empathic beings. The levels of intensity vary, but to say that one is an empath and declare someone as an intuitive, you know, there's no separation in that. There's no difference in that. All of us are very intuitive, and all of us are very empathic. That's why we know how we can feel. We feel what we feel. So that's a surefire way of knowing that we're all empathic to some degree. But the level of intensity and your focus, your attunement to that makes all the difference. So a lot of times this guidance comes through in my personal private sessions that I do, one-on-one sessions. And this came up again today, so I felt like it was necessary to make a video with you guys. And it's the knowing that we live in this material world where everything is tangible and easy to touch, easy to perceive with our senses. And a lot of times that can get in the way of us being faithful in the use of our intuition. When we allow ourselves to use the intuition and that to trump, so to speak, our knowledge, then we're putting that to practice. We're putting that ahead of everything else. Knowledge just gets in the way. Knowledge is useful and it describes an experience, but knowledge gets in the way of intuition. Knowledge needs time, the stamp of time to exist. Intuition is timeless. So the application of intuition doesn't need knowledge. It truly is quite the opposite. So I encourage you guys, when you begin to feel an intuitive pull or an empathic nudge about something, trust what you feel and trust your intuition and what you just automatically think or what you automatically know in an intuitive sense, because that is the ultimate truth. Knowledge is just knowledge. Knowledge can get in the way more oftentimes than not when it comes to the use and application of your intuition. So some of the ways that you can see yourself in this, is maybe it's relationship goals or work-related goals. It's very easy to take the knowledgeable approach and apply certain steps and parameters, put those in place to achieve what you want. But there's always that underlying pull of your intuition, your gut telling you to do this versus that. Knowledge says do this, intuition says do that. And when you allow yourself to follow the intuitive side, this is where you'll come out more expanded, more evolved, and empowered. A lot of times when we choose knowledge over intuition, we may not realize it, but subconsciously and even sometimes consciously, we are denying ourselves of the power of our intuition by choosing the knowledgeable thing to do versus the intuitive thing to do. The two don't really coexist very well together. The intuitive mind and the rational mind are not good friends. I think we've all experienced that one way or another. But it's important to look at everybody as an intuitive and as an empath. These abilities reside in all of us. It's just a matter of connectedness, awareness, and focus as far as, how intense it can be. So when you say, I'm not clairvoyant or I can't see, my third eye isn't open, I want to remind you guys and take you back to the science aspect of this, that quantum physics is very, it's very simple for us to know and understand that energy cannot be stopped. It can't be started, it just is. And it also can't be blocked. It really truly cannot be blocked when you understand the interconnectedness, the intimacy of what quantum physics actually is. Energy is everywhere, it's everything all the time, and it's anything in existence has a relationship with everything else in existence, one way or another. So knowing that, it's just a matter of your awareness as to what you experience. A lot of people say, well, my third eye isn't open. How do I open it? Well, by removing the belief that it's not open, first of all. But I always encourage people to know and accept the fact that, again, energy can't be blocked. And your third eye probably always was open. You just don't have your awareness there. Your awareness is somewhere else. You're listening, you're focused on something else. That's why you're not experiencing clairvoyance. So it takes focus, it takes intention, and it takes practice. It takes diligence. Due diligence pays off every single time. So don't convince yourselves and render yourself powerless that you're not intuitive or you're not as intuitive as someone else. Because if someone else is trying to convince you that they're more intuitive than you, they're just stuck in an ego trap. So don't render yourselves powerless to that, because then you just begin to serve their ego. Instead, I invite you and encourage you to shift your awareness. It takes a lot of faith and trust. Practice trust and faith in what you see, what you experience, because it's the core of who we all are. It's the core of who we all are. And even further, it's important to declare where you want to resonate. I truly believe that the belief that something negative produces something positive is absolutely radical and insane. We cannot take darkness and produce light from it. We cannot take bad or negativity and produce good with it. So I think it's really important for us to understand the difference of the vibrations, the frequencies. When you plug into a positive frequency, you experience everything else in that channel. Same thing with negative. If you plug into a negative thought, a negative channel, a negative frequency, you experience everything that's existing in that reality. So whether it's at the level of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and feeling, it's truly up to you. Where you focus is what you experience. Where you don't focus is where you lack the experience. So when people say, you know, my third eye is closed because I don't ever see, I try to see and I don't see anything intuitively. I always tell people, shift your awareness or expand your awareness. Now, how do you do that? We'll get to that. But not experiencing something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means there's a lack of awareness. There's a lack of presence. So now you just have to shift and pull your presence into that, you know, that dynamic of you and into that facet of you, and you'll expand in that awareness. So if it's clairvoyance, if it's clairaudience or clairsentience, if it's any of these that you're wanting to experience or just expand your intuitive state altogether, to me the experience is allowing yourself to shift from declaring what happens and who you are to allowing yourself to be influenced, to be guided, to be shown, and to be impressed upon. It's really practicing surrender, being in the state of surrender and allowing yourself to not only surrender, but be transparent. When you can practice transparency, you will see so much more. But when we engage the emotions and allow the emotions to dictate our relationships, then our vision becomes very, very small. We kind of trap ourselves into this tunnel vision. So first, I encourage all of you to move beyond the idea that someone is very intuitive or someone is an empath, because it's the nature of all of us. So allow yourself to unite in that collective and allow yourself to experience what's there. It's up to you. If you say you can't, you're right. If you say you can, you're right. It's truly up to you. And also, you know, I feel like it's really important to acknowledge anybody practicing intuition or their psychic gifts or abilities. If they ever make you feel less powerful than they are, just be very mindful. Practice your own discernment, because your discernment is going to keep you rooted and grounded in your essence. If someone is trying to convince you that they have a gift that you don't, again, they're just enslaved to the ego. So I encourage you to know your own power in those situations and practice discernment. Now, also, I think it's really important to just, maybe we can just address a quick visual to help you bring awareness to your third eye. So many people want that, you know, that vision and that seeing beyond the physical realm. So for me, it's all about visualization and practicing that, practicing awareness at that level. So if I tell you, you know, to picture a red guitar or picture a green apple, the image that you receive when I tell you that is your third eye. That's your clairvoyant awareness. So now it's up to you to create an image and see every single detail to bring awareness to that place of seeing. Then you kind of open it up and allow the universe to inspire what you're seeing. Ask for signs, ask for guidance, whatever it is, but at least you know now where to place your awareness to have that experience. Trust is going to be huge. Trust is going to be huge to develop this. So I just wanted to address this with you guys because I feel like I see so many people pop up and say, oh, I'm an empath, or they're an intuitive, or a psychic, or whatever. But truthfully, it's the nature of who we all are. Nobody's different in it. The only difference is the level of intensity because of our focus, our level of acceptance and trust. So I encourage all of you guys to accept that in yourselves and know without a shadow of a doubt that you're just as intuitive, empathic, and even gifted, if that's the word that you want to use, to know divine essence and divine presence when you cross paths with it. So I thank you guys so much for listening. I truly hope this video just empowers you and enlightens you to your intuitive being. And through that, I hope you expand into a new level of awareness of yourself. So any more questions or topic suggestions, you guys can always hit me up on Instagram at kim.babcock. You can also message me through my website at kimbabcockonline.com, and I will look so forward to hearing from you guys. Take care, have a wonderful night, and be present.